Well, the athletes out on the track for the second heat of the men's 800 metres. Just 3 heats. It's a pretty tough, severe qualifying, going from heat straight to the final at Commonwealth level. And, well, no, Elias Nyen or Ngeni, however it is correctly pronounced. There was a very famous Nyen a couple of decades back. May not go through from that first heat. There is another Kenyan in this race, Cornelius Tuwai. There's the lineup for Heat 2. Navaski Anderson of Jamaica went out in the heat of the World Championships. Dradiga of Uganda is their champion this year. Masilo of Botswana was in there. Tuwai of Kenya went out in the heats 4 years ago. Nathan Hood of Grenada will struggle here, I suspect. Peter Boll of Australia, well, finest at the World Championships. 4th placer in Tokyo last year, should qualify here. And Judah Corriette of Dominica goes in this one as well. And there is Judah Corriette. Goes in lane 8. The 25-year-old went out in the heats 4 years back. Best of 154.8 this year. There's Peter Boll, embraced by Australia. His story, his journey to Australian citizenship is fundamentally the Australian journey. Born in Sudan, 3 times the Australian champion though now, and the 4th placer in Tokyo last year. Nathan Hood goes in lane 6 for Grenada. His personal best was a national record back in April, 148.2. Cornelius Tuwai of Kenya, 4th in their Kenyan championships back in April, but with 144.6 this year, he's 7th ranked in Kenya. They have such amazing depth. Putumelo Masilo of Botswana has had very few races this year, but he is a 145 performer, 145.7, his lifetime best this year. Tom Dradiga of Uganda, a semi-finalist in the African Championships a month or so back in those games which were very, very tough mid-season championships prior to the Worlds for many of the African athletes. Navaski Anderson went out in his heat of the World Championships. He is the Jamaican champion, 145.02 this year, and actually 2nd in the NCAA Championships back in June in a national record, breaking a 53-year-old Jamaican record at 800 metres. Really good young athlete, Navaski Anderson. Watch him. Broke Byron Dice's 53-year-old Jamaican record. So, heat 2. Only the first 2 go through by right. Everything to play for on that first heat was dreadfully slow. Remember, they made 855.4 and the winning time, well, 148.8 by Jamie Webb. So there's an opportunity for the athletes in these 2nd and 3rd heats. Remember, this is the 2nd of 3. To go out pretty hard, run aggressively, and you could get through if you place in 4th position. And it is Tuwai, very experienced, who hits the front. Already 13 800s this outdoor season by Tuwai. He's should certainly be in the racing mould. Whether or not he's tired is another matter. He's had his season's best in Nairobi back on the 25th of June. And he's keeping this reasonably honest. I think this will be a little bit quicker, Rob, than the first heat at 400.
I couldn't agree more, Tim. I had a check, and 6 of the 7 athletes in this have run faster than Jamie Webb did to win the first of the heats. So it's in all their interest to make this an honest pace, and it is way, way quicker than the first of the heats. And look how majestic Tuwai looks. I mean, you said he's only the 7th ranked Kenyan in the world this year from their nation, and he's an absolutely majestic looking 800 metre runner, and so too is Peter Boll. What a talent this Australian is as he hits the front.
200 metres to run then, 51.7 at the bell. Boll looking very strong indeed. He is the class act here. I think he was frustrated at his 7th place at the World Championships. He's been in better form than that. I know his agent is staying just a few miles from here in a hotel and has been suffering from COVID, unfortunately. Watching this on TV as Boll with a 5-metre lead looks very comfortable there. Botswana's Masilo coming through for his 2nd place there, and the Jamaican Anderson in 3rd, and the Kenyan run right out of the automatic places, 147.01 for Boll. So he, of course, will go through from this 2nd heat. But goodness me, the Kenyans are not performing well so far in the 2 heats gone so far. And there is another Kenyan, the defending champion, Wycliffe Kimnyamal, goes in the 3rd heat in a few minutes' time. Let's hope he's in better form, frankly, competitively. But that's a very comfortable win, and just what he needs, Peter Boll. A nice pipe opener there, and they've got a long, long break after this until the final.
A huge amount of recovery time I'm really excited to see what Navaski Anderson can do in that final. He should be okay finishing outside the top two. He's on 147.79, so he and Tuai will be comfortably ahead of the two who are occupying the non-automatic spots from the first of the heats. But Peter Bol, it is a fantastic story. And he really went for it in that Tokyo final last year. I think he was leading till about 50 to go. It was a brave, brave bid to win that gold medal for Australia. He looks really, really good here. So comfortable down that last 50 metres. The Jamaican Anderson was just coming under a little bit of pressure after an inspired performance from Masilo. And Tuai, yes, considering that he's run a 144 at altitude this year, he looked very tired in fourth place, but he does occupy the second of the non-automatic spots at the moment. But how good was that from Bol?
Bol glancing around, looking very comfortable indeed. As I said, just what you need, really. A little blowout, probably about 85% effort, 90% effort to ease across the line in 147.0 on. He has got the gears. His training has been going superbly, and I don't think we saw a true reflection of his ability with that 7th place in Eugene. I know he was desperately disappointed with his run in the semis. He only got through as a non-automatic qualifier to the final at the World Championships, but clearly here, glancing around as the others battle behind, he's a class apart, and he, I would say, is one of the favourites for the title, if not for the gold. Will be really interesting to see how the third Kenyan, Kinimal, the defending champion, goes in the next heat. We must remember that he's the second fastest in the world, Kinimal. He will be a handful. And he might be the only Kenyan to make it through to the final after that run. Too wide there, 148.66 in fourth place. The opportunity is there for the athletes in the third and final heat, but will they take it to go out hard? Yeah, considering that battling fourth in Tokyo last year. Peter Bol has been quite a character in Australia over this last year since Tokyo.
Now, there has been a disqualification. That's a real shame. Luke Denick of Dominica. Foot on the inside of the line, and you cannot do that before breaking from lanes. So he is not listed as an official finisher from the first of the semi-finals or heats, whatever you want to call them. It's still Jamie Webb and Guy Limont, and they will be the only two from that first heat. The non-automatic qualifiers will be coming, possibly, from the second heat, or maybe the third, if they can make that fast enough. Cracking attendance again this morning. A great day of athletics unfolding. Confirmation, Peter Bol and Masilo taking the automatic spots. Anderson and Tuai are okay at the moment, but there are quick enough men in that third semi-final to deny them the non-automatic spots.
Well,